Alright, showtime. Alright, what's good with y'all, bro? I ain't even gonna intro this like my other channel. I'm gonna just act like I know where I'm at, cause this channel is dead for a reason. Cause I just posted like a lot of stuff when I first made it back when I was like 12 years old. Now it's turned into me trying to help people just because, you know, knowledge. You learn a lot as you grow and you change, and I feel like I've changed for the better, and I've decided to use my platforms for the better. So, with me prefacing that, I'm just gonna get right into this. This is going to be a presentation. So, if you do not like knowledge, leave. If you're a racist, leave. If you just like to be entertained and you don't want to learn like anything, you don't want to know anything because you think you already do, know everything, get out. That's it. Anyways, this is about to be very fast, but let's get into it. So, 2025, year of completion. Why do I say that? 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 is 9. That is numerology right there. That's simple. And the number 9, like I just said, is the symbol, the number of completion. We are there. Now, nothing is happening. It's not going to be like, no, 2020, I hope. But this is going to be the start of something new, as you just read, I hope, already. Starting January 1st, all children born between 2025 and 2039 will be a part of a demographic group called Generation Beta. Why? That makes you really think about some stuff, I hope, right? Let's go to the next little slide, since this is going to be in my phone gallery. But first communication between two humans in dreams have been achieved. REM Space, a Silicon Valley startup, made history by enabling communication between two people in lucid dreams. On September 24th, 2024, just last year, participants used specialized equipment to exchange a message while asleep. That is where we're at, where these people can record your dreams. So if you don't think that we're in the future, if you keep looking onward, like, it's just some stuff that's coming, it's already here. They're just slowly getting you comfortable with the idea of this stuff, and I'm pretty much going to prove it by the end of this presentation that we're already in the future, that they're just pretty much getting everyone ready for it. Okay. Intel unveils largest ever AI neuromorphic computer that mimics the human brain. Now I read this caption, as you can see. This unveiled last year in April. This thing can only fire about 1.15 billion artificial neurons. The human brain has about 86. So this is their strongest AI that's trying to mimic the human brain that has 86 billion neurons, and it only has one. That's so minuscule compared to what we can do. So whenever people are, looking at AI like it's like the god, no, it's not yet. It's trying to get there. It's trying to mimic that, and that's just by algorithms. I'm supposing, like how this is operating right here. What I'm looking at, I'm guessing this is algorithm based and not quantum. But I'm gonna leave that for another time. I don't even think I'm talking about that quantum today. But mind reading AI turns thoughts into pictures with amazing accuracy. It's pretty crazy. I just wanted to put that out there. This is also a declassified CIA document, pretty much explaining how the body is liquid crystal. I'm gonna just kind of like leave it right here for you to read because I already read this, but I just summarize it for you to read it, because this is not for me to force feed you any information. This is for you to fact check what I'm saying and see if it's true or false. Comment if I'm tweaking or not. But this is what I researched. As I was just saying, the body is liquid crystal. What is a crystal? Or at least what does a crystal do? At least what I know of a crystal, it refracts light. As you can see in the Hebrew Bible and in Egyptian depictions and the hieroglyphs, you can see like people almost kind of like flying. You see angels normally depicted in human form. You see in Egypt they have people with animal bodies like human head, falcon. Pretty much talking about the same thing. They're talking about angels. They're talking about seeing light bodies, the Merkaba, what people call with the Star of David. That's the Merkaba, okay? And it's gonna pretty much be explained a little bit later. But as you can see, we all got that, bro. We all have that. If we are a liquid crystal, and what happens when you put light through a crystal? They say the third eye is the sun. That's the light, the black eye, the dark sun, the black sun. Excuse me. Whenever you open that, apparently, whenever your third eye is open, it secretes this fluid It's kind of like liquid melanin, and that is what allows you to see pretty much past this dimension. You know, you're not just thinking analytically. But let me keep going, bro. This is what I mean by you're not just thinking analytically, because in this realm, as you can see on the checkerboard, this is really what Freemasonry is representing. It represents the duality of this realm, pretty much the sun and moon, masculine and feminine. Sun, masculine, moon, feminine. In the middle, that is the straight way. That is the staircase you see in Freemasonry. And if you look at a lot of imagery, especially look at churches, particular churches. There's particular churches that I live near that use imagery, Freemasonry like imagery, which I'm starting to understand. It doesn't really necessarily mean they're evil, but they're utilizing knowledge, ancient knowledge, for better or worse, but most of the time it's worse. A lot of the time it's worse since they're under 50c3, right? I'm thinking, I don't know what the hell it's called, but they're pretty much under contract where they're only meant to tell you a certain amount of things out of that book. They're not meant to go on these levels that I'm talking about in a simple presentation on my phone, you know? This is pretty much what Freemasonry is about. Pretty much breaking down the duality of the nature of this world, of this realm, and how you're supposed to pretty much find the balance, the middle way, bro. That is all Freemasonry. Whoa, damn. I'm gonna leave that in there, but that's all Freemasonry is about. Cause there's a lot on my mind that I could go, so many different ways I can go with this, but I'm gonna just leave it at that. And as you could also see, in the clouds, you see like little humans type shit, like animals. A lot of these otherworldly bodies can only be depicted in human form because that's like the best way that we can comprehend other forms of life by having it kind of mimic ourselves, you know? Like it's really hard to conceive or perceive something outside of ourselves. But yeah, they're pretty much talking about the same thing. This is on Egypt, the Ark of the Covenant. As you can see, it kind of looks like the Freemasonry symbol. And as you also connect it, the top triangle and like the little bottom triangle also makes the Star of David. If you know, trace it out, trace those triangles out. As above, so below, as within, so without. The light and the darkness, top, bottom. As you can see, mind, spirit, body. Earth is opposite of air. Fire is opposite of water. Even though they have some similarities, they're pretty much different, you know? And you're supposed to understand the different dualities of this realm. And a lot of these people who give us this knowledge, who give us the resources that we use to pretty much go day to day, like, they understand the laws of this realm and they utilize that against us. When, like, you can see it in the extremism a lot of people practice. You know, a lot of people are just pro-male. A lot of people are feminists, what do you call them? A lot of people are just one side conservative. A lot of people are on the other side Democrat. They have you stuck in the extreme instead of trying to find the balance, which is a problem because, you know, you need a healthy balance. Even the Bible says that the Lord loves a just balance, but I'm kind of paraphrasing there. But as you can see, this is pretty much the levels of this. Whenever you start to access different parts of your Merkaba, your light spirit body, you go into higher realms. You start to think differently, you start to operate differently, talk differently, feel differently, because your vibe, it changes, it raises. You're not as dense, you know. You're like literally dense. Like whenever you're angry, whenever you're frustrated, whenever you're just stuck on the physical body, you're just thinking thoughts, and you're not really in control of what's going in and out of your mind, how you're thinking, how you're moving. You're dense, you're heavy. You can't really perceive stuff that's, you know, just comes to people like who were just chilling. People who were always in a good vibe or in a good vibe majority of the time. They just got life on flow. They don't really have to think too much because that's how the universe works, you know. You attract what you are. You attract your state of being. So if you're constantly frustrated, you will constantly be frustrated, or there will be things that will keep you in that state, I should say. Versus if you like to be happy, if you're a happy person, you're just the optimist person. You will look for things that'll keep you happy instead of looking for problems. That's really how that works, you know. Even these people understand how these bodies, these astral bodies, the real archons, you know, serving the demiurge, which is the creator of the physical universe. You know, pretty much like these planets, they represent the animals of the zodiac, which is why I showed you in this right here. There's an animal in the sky. There's little figures in the sky, human depictions that we call these light spirit bodies, but these are like what we call the aliens. Some people might call demons or angels, because not all that come from the sky, that come from other worlds, other planes, are here to help. Some are, some are not. And like I just said, as you can see in this image as well, the zodiac signs, those are what govern the body. Because the zodiac signs are expressed through the planets, and the planets are directly correlated with the body, as you can see. Like, for example, Monday. Everyone hates Monday, right? Monday. Moon day. Because this is coming from Latin. English comes from a whole jumble of languages, but mainly Latin. And moon, Monday, that's where you find that. Or, yeah. Moon is the root of that word Monday. Monday is pretty much a moon day. And as you could see, I said moon plenty of times now. Luna is connected to the brain. So, and also let me read it as well. Also, it says for Monday, that's the kickoff of the solar prominence, the gases from the sun, or I should say the moon, my fault, affecting emotions. And that is a rest day. And isn't it crazy? Monday is the start of the week, but you start on Monday. That's why everyone hates it, because it's like, damn, I just want to be chilling today. And it's crazy because that is aligned with your brain. And every day, every Monday, excuse me, they got you working. Isn't that wild? But yeah, it seems like that's not a coincidence. Anyway, Venus, that's connected to one of the body parts. It's hard to look because the way they got this diagram, it's all kind of fucked up. But Venus is the Roman goddess in charge of love and peace. And I put that here for a reason because, like I said, the planets, they're directly correlated with the body. They affect the body depending on what day of the week it is. And Venus being the goddess of love and peace. Oh yeah, I put the Kemetic, or not the Kemetic, but the what is this shit called? Sign language sign. That looks awfully similar to the rock star symbol, but that they attribute this to the devil. Cause this, like I just said right here, Venus, love, I love you, amor, which is pretty much love in Latin. Like I said, English is derived from Latin, a bit of German, pretty much a lot of languages that predate this before we came over here. Yeah, Venus is the god of love, in charge of love, and there's only one person on the planet that is supposed to represent that love. We call him Christ. We call him Jesus. He goes by many different names depending on what religion you serve or what you were brought up in. But this is from the Bible, KJV. I forget what verse and what chapter, but you could just look up these words. Just describing what Christ looks like. Saying his eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. Now pause the video, please. If you made it this far, thank you. You a real one. You a real one. I was gonna say real nigga, but I don't know if any women are watching by any chance either. Reread this description, because the next slides I'm about to show you, irrefutable proof of who the Christ is. No offense, but like I said, if you're a racist, leave. This is not the presentation for you. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. He had a name written that no man knew but he himself. Next slide. It's kind of blurry, but stick with me. There is only one natural person, there is only one natural race on the planet. I don't care what anyone says. Due to science, if I have a baby with someone outside of my race, they need a certain shot for that baby not to die. If I cannot reproduce naturally, then it's not supposed to happen. If I do not get that, if the person I impregnate happens to be outside my race and they do not get that shot, that baby is dying. A lot of races, people outside of black, if you don't wear sunscreen, you get skin cancer. These are simple scientific facts. There's evidence that we're not the same. Not saying you were less than, I'm just saying we're not the same. They're saying in the gene and the DNA, that I'm pretty sure it applies to the natural people, the natural man, and it's gonna be kind of hard to read, like I said, but stick with me. The four nucleic acids bind the helixes together by sulfuric bridges in the sequence of ATCG every 10, 5, 6, 5 acids. The Hebraic The Hebraic numeric meaning 10, 5, 6, 5, YHVH, Yahweh or Yahuwah, God. What does this say? And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. That's all I'm gonna say. That's really all that's like, what else can you say about that? What else can you say? Because scriptures can be interpreted in many different ways, but especially this sentence, and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. In order to know something, you have to experience it. You have to see it. These people, I'm gonna say that, people like Hitler and them, shout out. They were studying us back in our captivity days, whenever, especially still today. I don't know what I'm talking about, like we free or anything, but they study us because melanin is the chaos. It's chaos. It's the sun in physical form, and it's constantly changing, and it's pretty much us. Our body is a representation of the universe outside, and this is exactly why they study us the way they do. They have, and they will continue to, because we're that. We're God in the flesh, and y'all are derived from that. There's some people who are not connected to us at all, but there are some races who are here as amalgamations. Y'all are technically glitches in the matrix. I'm just gonna be straight up, but I just gotta keep it going. What did it say? And on his heads were many crowns. A crown is just an encirclement, and an encircle is a ring. What do you see? The follicles of woolly, as you also heard in some descriptions of the Christ, he's also described with woolly hair, feet of brass. Woolly or non-ether hair is flat and grows out from a tight curl. The hair is the key. It's simple and clear. As in the case of a baby, babies are born with straight and curly hair. As they mature, their genes get stronger and their hair thickens, depending on your race. White people, y'all got straight hair, none against, like I'm saying. But they have us under the standard that we need to be clean cut because hair is dead, but my hair doesn't fall, it stands. So dead things don't stand up. I'm just going to say it like that. Yeah, this is pretty much describing what the crown means, to encircle. It's a ring to tie around. As you can see, our hair naturally does the Fibonacci sequence, which is found in every part of nature, pretty much. How a flower blooms, how waves form, even the sun, like how it, bro, everything has the Fibonacci sequence. I can keep going, bro. Literally how snakes move, how they can coil whenever they're trying to look for heat. This is what they do. Even my dog does this, bro. Low key, whenever he's trying to stay warm, he does the same shit. He kind of curls in on himself. Like, everything in nature follows this law of math. Like, it's so simple. Like, even Christ being the lamb, everything is phonetics. Forget how it's spelled. It's all about how it sounds. Because these people who deal with this language that we use today, pretty much all around the planet, they deal with quantum language. So it doesn't even really matter how it's spelled. It's really about how it sounds, the vibration, the vibe, the word. What they are saying is all that matters. So really, yeah, Christ being the lamb right here being the root, earth, yeah, he's here to rise back to heaven, which is the mind. That's all I'm going to say for that. I ain't going to go too much into the religious shit, but damn, I should have got on whatchamacallit. But yeah, this is pretty much what a Moor was looking like though back in the day, wearing the turbans, you know what I'm saying, wearing the red fez. Yeah, like we pretty much came out from Africa, and we've been doing our thing over here since, but everybody thinks that we're just strictly from Africa. But look, Egypt, Masarayam, Misrayam, Northwest Africa is what we call America. Africa is the capital. Africa was the name of the planet, not just a continent. Africa used to be just the one continent. We always talk about Pangea, but everyone seems to forget that whenever I start bringing up where Morocco is or Morocco was, how America is pretty much an extension of Egypt. I put it right here because, like I said, pause it, read this. I don't even need to read this because it's so simple and clear in front. Oh, and this too. Pause and read this. And then pause and read this. This pretty much explains why we see what we see on the dollar bill, why the mascot is the eagle, like in Egypt, the eagle around the sun, Horus, why we use the dollar bill with the pyramid on it. There's so many connections. There's even pyramids over here they found in the Grand Canyon. Like, there's so many things. There's Mayan pyramids that were older than the ones in Egypt. It doesn't make any sense how there's no connection with Africa, so-called, Egypt, so-called, Kemet, whatever you want to call it, and America. And there were black people here before Christopher Columbus ever touched. Like, how is he even going to be talking to the Native Americans if they don't speak the language? If y'all didn't know, there were Moors that led Christopher Columbus over here, that were here to be translators to him and the Native Americans. So, if you're talking about that, there's no connection between us and Africa, you stupid, bro. I'm just going to say that, but... yeah, this is pretty much the whole point and why I'm making the live stream. Everything else kind of feels like filler up until this point. I'm just kind of giving a gist of why I'm saying this is the year of completion. Because this is pretty much why they're calling this new generation that's born this year, today, pretty much, or technically yesterday, today, and forward forever. Until like 2029. These generations are not going to be the same kids who were raised before the internet. Look at this. A scientist says humans will go backwards in time within just 5 years. Computer scientist and futurist Ray, I don't care about your last name, boy, believes humanity will achieve longevity escape velocity in just 5 years. The concept basically states that due to medical and technological advances, we will soon reach a point where our life expectancies lengthen by more than 1 year per year, eventually giving us time back on the clock. They're trying to make you immortal. That sounds cool. If you look at Wolverine, bro, you look at Skips from regular show, that's something you don't want. Even in the Bible, it says there's going to be a day where people want to die and they can't. Why? Think about your life. What do you do every day? You want to do that forever? Because they're not going to, bro, if you think they're just going to let you live, fuck out of here. They're not letting you do that right now. So what makes you think that they will let you do that when you become immortal? Anyway, superhuman vision lets robots see through walls and smoke with new LIDAR-like eyes. They're getting ready for your ass, boy. The most underused medical tools. Fasting. I'm going to just say it. Yeah, sunlight, sleep, big one. Nature. Real food, which doesn't exist, to be honest, unless you're growing that bitch. But it's still so many things fucking it up. You need to be like in the outskirts of Africa with the lions and shit, way. Exercise, heat, cold, salt, magnesium, earthing, big one. I love earthing. Meditation and laughter. That's probably the biggest one. Laughter. You could do that anytime, anywhere. You could do that for yourself, just in your mind. That's totally underused, and I only have this right here because this is where we're going. Shout out AI. I had to generate me this image on Instagram. But shout out, bro, because look, that's where we're going. This is where they want us. They want the Earth looking like motherfucking, I don't even know, Iron Man's heart type shit. They want wires, nooks and crannies, lights, all in this bitch, because they trying to get you away from nature. That's why they have you take medicine. That's why they have you inside all day in front of an artificial light, taking in the false light. Remember, you're a liquid crystal in order to project their point of view of the world. I don't know if you ever watched Social Dilemma on Netflix. I'm pretty sure it's gone now because that was a crazy little documentary. It's pretty much saying how these devices are pretty much like 3 people observing you 24/7 because you pretty much put all your information on it. So many people just tell me all the time, oh, they got our data anyway, so fuck it. Every time I bring up the little problem with TikTok and I hear that sentence, I'm like, oh yeah, you in there. You in there. You don't give a fuck. You don't care that they know everything that you do. They got you down in the book, boy. They got you figured out. And that's the thing that I'm trying to tell people is that we're pretty much moving into a time where you won't be able to have any more privacy. privacy will no longer be a thing. Like, this device will be so in lock with you, so in tune, you won't want to escape. You won't want to get off. You won't want to go back to normal life, because normal life will be quote unquote so bad that you'll just want to be here on this grid. Like, look, this is really what I'm trying to get at if you're still here, because this means that this message was for you. Look, if you happen to care about crypto, this is where it gets a little creepy. Look at 2020, all right? 2020 was a year personally where, like, because me coming into the truth, bro, I was still kind of new to that around the time. And whenever 2020 hit for everyone, it looked like the world was over. It looked like we were just about to be going into a quote unquote new normal, is what, these people in charge right now call it. They call it a new normal, where, like, social distance, you got a curfew, can't go here, can't go there. They want to bring that back. Because if you, like I said, look, like I just said for 2020, if you look at every cryptocurrency around the year 2020, there is a huge spike. They are banking on us not going back to normal life. They want this shit to go digital, to be as efficient as possible, is what they say. This is what they sell it with. But they really want us to be on the grid. I love how they pump fake that they're not with crypto, but they want to know everything that you're doing. And people don't even know who is the inventor of crypto. The first person, some Nakamoto, they don't know who he is. That's an unknown alias. That's a name given for someone. That's an entity pretty much. You don't know if that's one person or several people who made cryptocurrency. And it's so crazy how every single cryptocurrency has a crazy fluctuation right around 2020 or after. They just go crazy. The price just goes to the sky. It's almost like something knows, and something is just banking on this shit changing, which is why they kind of had to fall back, because not everybody was on board with those vaccines. Not everybody was on board with it, but they want to slowly get it to that, because after that, and they realized that we weren't all just trying to stay in, trying to go with this and that, they started easing up. 2021, 2022, it started slowly going back to a little normal, but it still doesn't feel right. It still does not feel right, but they don't care. This is the year where they're going to be starting to do that, because as you can see, they got Trump now. They got Elon Musk with Trump. They got Mark Zuckerberg helping Trump. There's so many technological advances that are coming, and a lot of people, they doubt it because they think that they're going to stop. But there's been so many systems, so many people alive and dead, and there's always been a system in place wherever you go. You're never going to escape a system unless you want to. That's the thing. That's where people get caught up. They think that the system is just going to fall and we're just going to be out here. Possibly. Who knows? Because who knows how it's going to look. But how I think is that this system is only going to evolve. And if you were too comfortable into it, you were never going to want to escape. Because why? Why would I go live in a tent where I could stay in an apartment? Why would I have to go grow my own food when I could buy it from the store? Those would be a question and ultimatum that people will always have on their shoulder, which will probably be the biggest stumbling block, is just comfort. Comfort alone will kill you. You need to be comfortable with getting uncomfortable, and not just in a way where, like, oh yeah, I'll work out in the cold. No, you need to learn these skills that I'm talking about. And I'm talking to myself while I say that, because it's just a serious time. They want to bring in efficiency, and I feel like this year will be the beginning of that. Like I said, my boy Trump in office. Not my boy. That boy Trump in office, and shit's about to change. It's about to change. Slowly but steady, or maybe fast. Who knows? All I know is that I feel it. And I had to say this. I had to make this video, because it's kind of like a sneeze. It's like you kind of try to hold it down, but like if it keep coming back up, you just got to let it out. I had to drop this. I had to let this out for y'all. And I just had these slides. I was thinking of it, how I wanted to present the information, because it's like normally when I get on here, I'm just in front of the camera talking and y'all see my face, but I want y'all to focus on the information today. If you made it this far, I'm done, because I don't want to keep rambling.